Greetings, Lamb's Bread 4, beginning here. Lamb's Bread 4, the bread of life, the bread of truth, the bread of knowledge, the bread of awareness, the breath of understanding. True understanding, true wisdom is the light which God brings. That is knowing how things happen, why they happen, and what to expect when things are happening around you based on that awareness. We must understand that the Hashishins, the people of the mountains of Alamut, the people of the old man of the mountain, the king of the assassins, learned what they learned somewhat from the influence of the secret society of the Brahmins. It traveled after the Brahmanic traditions to the west, to the mountains of Alamut, which are Saudi Arabian deserts. In these mountains we have the old man of the mountain, Ihaban Sabat. Ihaban Sabat basically taught the people, he basically had enough money to set up a paradise in the mountains, and in that paradise he had beautiful women, and he also had rivers that he produced mechanically that ran with wine. He would invite young men up to his castle in the mountains of Alamut, and he would have them sit down and feed them a meal mixed with hashish and quite possibly opium. While they were under the influence of hashish and opium, he would take them to the paradise gardens. There they would be entertained by the beautiful women and be able to drink from the rivers of wine. That's why you have traditions continually cropping up about Muslimic paradise being filled with 27 versions of virgins and rivers of wine, and the ability to eat pork. So they were given all these things in the mountains of Alamut under the influence of hashish. When they began to come to, 3 or 4 days later, because he kept them quite intoxicated for a good period of time so that it would quite deeply sink into the soul, then, after these rich pleasures began to wear off, he sat them plunk right back down at the table. And you can get all this from Bill Schneblin, in case you're wanting to hear a rehearsed rendition of history, which is quite well known by people who study these things. And plunk, they sat down at the table, and Ihaban Sabat asked them, "Do you remember what was shown to you?" And they said, "Yes, I do. And he said, I have granted you paradise. And if you serve me with your life, I will give it to you eternally. You will go to an eternal paradise just like the one you have experienced." And the young men said, "Yep, I'll do it," because they didn't know any better. And so he would give them a secret sign and send them out to work for somebody that he did not like. And they would work for that person their whole life, 15 years. And at the right time, Ihaban Sabat would send a little message, a little symbol, to the assassin, and the assassin would kill his target, whoever he was told to go and work for. So there are a lot of good stories about that. But eventually the Mongols and Genghis Khan conquered the area and nearly conquered the assassin cult. They basically bought off the Genghis Khan clan and surviving long enough to meet the Knights Templar, which is our next section, Lamb's Bread 5. Lamb's Bread 4 is now concluded.